Asare Donkor. Now, Erastus Asare Donkor is a journalist with a multimedia group, has been covering mining-related issues and Galamsey issues for many years now. He has narrated what, based on what he's picked up, happened at this particular Shedium case over the weekend. Let me speak to him. Mr. Asare Donkor, welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you.
I have seen what you wrote on Facebook. For purpose of those on radio who may not have followed what you wrote, you narrated what transpired on Saturday, and you added pictures and videos of what happened. Now, based on everything you know from the information you picked up, can you tell us how this degenerated to the extent that soldiers had to be rescued by policemen in Shedium?
Well, so NAIMOS and I, we do communicate. So whenever they are on operation, I'm privy to what happens on those operations. I'm also privy to some visuals from the operation and what happens at every given time. And so, per my investigation, the commander himself, normally, he doesn't go on all the operations with the soldiers. But this time around, he was on one of the beats. And his attention was drawn to what was going on, that activity by the Shedium Road. And so they stopped and went to inquire. And upon inquiring, they found out that it was a gold processing area, contrary to law. In fact, what they were doing there was more dangerous than the kind of mining that we see and report every single day. And this is why. They were doing what we call leaching. Leaching is done with cyanide or certain acids. What they do is that they buy the tailings. The tailings is the residue from mining activity, the ones that they are supposed to throw away. But research has indicated that 70% of gold can still be recovered using that method involving cyanide. And so they dig a pit and they use polythene bags to line the inside of the pit, and they pour in the acid and the tailings, they mix and they do the processing there. This is hazardous and very dangerous to the environment. And that is what they found them doing there. In fact, they seized some of the acid material and the chemicals they were using. And so they arrested the men on site, and including one Burkinabe. Then subsequently, this gentleman drove into the yard. He's called Alex, in a RAV4 vehicle, and says he owns the site. And then, again, the MP also followed with his men. And they demanded that they release the people they have arrested and put in handcuffs. And the commander said no. They cannot do that. And so it became a hot argument between them. Then they called, he said he told the commander that it was Honorable Collins Zauda who asked him to come to the scene. He said, still, they are not releasing the people. So, in fact, that degenerated into a heated argument right there. And that is what went on and escalated into what we saw at the police station. Because they decided that they were going to then send the men to the police station, the nearest police station, hand them over to the police, and give the evidence they gathered on the site to the police, because that's what they normally do. And at the police station, that is where more people, including the men who came with the MP, joined. And it de-escalated into that whole violence that you saw there, where the NAIMOS vehicle was destroyed. They were going for the life of those soldiers, and they threatened to burn down the police station. So it was a reinforcement from another police jurisdiction that came in to save the situation and whisk them away to safety. That is what I've been able to confirm on the ground.
Okay.
So I am surprised.
Are you also can you also confirm that it was the MP for Asutifi North who brought those people there, or by the time he got there was already a standoff? Because he, in his statement, he said he was on his way to a funeral when he got to Ishidiem and realized there was a commotion, and for which reason he then went to inquire, and he called the other MP to report.
If I may ask, where was the commotion?
He said he noticed a commotion at a mine, at a gold extraction site. When he got there, he realized that there was an issue. So he called the MP, because that's not his constituency, to report to the MP. And it was the MP who said to him that, oh, I've actually wanted to speak to them for a while now. I've not been successful. I sent my assembly member. They will not speak to him. Can you give the phone to them so I speak to him? That's the narration he put up in his statement.
Well, that is contrary to what I found on the ground, because he went to the site when the people were arrested, and then NAIMOS touched their settlement. They bent down the settlement. There was no resistance back then. The people were in handcuffs. They were going to do their due diligence, take them to the nearest police station, hand over the exhibits, and continue on their journey until the alleged guy who claims he owns the site came to the site, and the MP followed with his men. And that was when the exchanges occurred. And it went on for hours, not minutes, hours. So if the MP says he was just passing by, well, that cannot be accurate. What I have gathered on the ground, and there is evidence to it, that he was there, and he was not there for minutes, he was there for hours. They engaged in a heated argument. He requested that they remove the handcuffs from the Burkinabe and the other guys they have arrested, and the soldiers rejected it. And that is when they decided that, no, we will send them to the nearest police station. And if you have any issues, go to the police station and have it checked out. And it was at the police station that the mob gathered in their numbers and besieged there, that they were not going to allow them to put the men they have arrested in police custody.
Erastus, of late we see policemen wearing cameras on their body, so that a lot of the things that happen, they record it with these body cams. Do you know whether the soldiers on the NAIMOS team wear body cams, so that we can check what exactly transpired if that would have been filmed by their cameras? And secondly, would it be fair to say that Collins Dauda is not necessarily involved in this matter, because this is an MP claiming that he was called by Collins Dauda? We do not know whether Collins Dauda indeed called him or not, and whether we can even blame him, as people are trying to do on social media.
Well, my write-up on social media has not accused Honorable Collins Dauda of anything. It was the MP and his people who claimed that it was Collins Dauda who sent them. And that is vividly captured in there. So nobody has accused him of owning a site or being complicit in anything. At the end of the day, what we are calling for is a full probe. I am curious to know what would be the interest of Honorable Collins Dauda if somebody is engaged in an illicit activity, which of course they knew. I don't know whether they knew all this while, or it has come as a sudden surprise to them that the people were engaged in processing gold using chemicals, and that they need a license to be able to do that. And that is an unlawful activity. Did the police in the area know? The two MPs, did they know? How long has the thing been operating there? How come they did not know? If they were very minded citizens, so-minded citizens, good citizens, and they knew that that activity demanded a license and it was without a license, what did they do? Did they notify the police?
Very well. Thank you. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Yes, the part on the body cam. Do you know if they wear body cams, the soldiers, when they go on
I am not aware of any such, and I have not inquired.
Very well.
But I know that they do have evidence to support what I have written.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you for having me.
That's Erastus Asare Donkor. He's a journalist with the Multimedia Group, a one-time journalist of the year for the Ghana Journalists Association. This is Eyewitness News on 90.